has really happened with the recession is a slowdown of investment. The market capacity to pay for services is not what it used to be, and the growth that we had been seeing in consumption patterns came to a grinding halt. In addition, because telecoms is no longer able to approach the market for forex, and we have no direct substitutes, local substitutes for the inputs or the technology that we're bringing into the sector, it has really put a limitation on companies' ability and capacity to invest in infrastructure. Now, that has a knock-on effect because the local jobs and the local add-on items to those investments are no longer taking place. And so that's what we're seeing in the telecom sector, trying to drive operational efficiency out of existing assets, rationalizing operations, rationalizing staff, which means job cuts, and in some instances, consolidation of services with some of the multinational operators outside of Nigeria. So an actual export of jobs from within the country to larger global, more efficient service centers. So the impact, I think, on the telecom industry has been severe. As consumers, a lot of us also experience it in eroding quality of service. Some of the services that we previously enjoyed with a little better quality are not able to deliver quite the same today. I think when I look at some of the opportunities or what's really required to come out of that, I think there's some that are just common to every element of our economy. Power is critical. The general state of the macro economy, because it also affects our local inputs, specifically in terms of staff. So you also have the skilled staff, skilled engineers from Nigeria who are able to go into international markets. So at the same time, we're really trying to improve operational efficiency. You're losing the critical skills because, you know, they have children in school, they have bills to pay, and by the way, they can get a job in Ireland or Australia or in the US that pays them much better and assures a better livelihood. So the whole macroeconomic dynamic has a big impact on the sector. The other thing is the cost of capital, given that you're not going to find domestic substitutes or Naira substitutes for what you need to build the network. And that is a serious issue because we're not able to drive the growth, and technology brings about improved productivity. We're not able to drive the productivity improvements unless we make this investment, and now we're not able to make this investment. And it's not just about funds or making Naira funds available. It's creating structures that truly make it efficient for private capital to want to come and invest in long-term infrastructure and have the certainty that they will be able to repatriate those funds coming out of the investments they've made in Nigeria. So that is a big issue. And finally is the demand side of the equation. Obviously, with the recession, consumers have less buying power, government has less buying power. There's a lot of new policies coming out with respect to local content. But unless we really implement those policies, be it the local startups who have innovated to a certain scale, but face competition from global e-commerce companies who have the capacity to come in and decimate their businesses almost overnight through virtual boundaries, with little or no jobs being created in Nigeria, but the ability to deliver virtual services in Nigeria that impair those businesses, to engagement of global tech majors who are making investments in South Africa and Kenya and prioritizing those investments ahead of Nigeria because the environment is not enabling. There, in some of those areas, I think government policy implementation needs to be more focused in getting specific results.